Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, what a beautiful morning it is through the curtains. Look at the curtains. Through the curtains. Gonna see what's through the curtains. Let's have a look. Good morning, world. Let's open the curtains and see. Oh, the sun. Oh, yeah, the sea. Can't see the sea too much because of the clouds, but hey ho, natural clouds. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me get set up. So that sun is so bright. I feel great, feel wonderful. Sorry, my hair's a bit of a mess this morning. I haven't had a shave. Let me get these two beautiful women in there. There you go. Cheers, good morning. Just made myself a fresh coffee with my favourite cup. Yes. Am I a cat lover? Well, I admire cats, I've got to admit. Back in the ancient days of Egypt, cats were revered as gods. Did you know that? And today they still think they are little buggers. How are you all doing? So this morning I couldn't find a coffee shop apart from the local panaderia and made a video there, a bit noisy because it's like a main motorway. I like to do a video in the morning on Facebook just to say hello to everybody and give people a little bit of a different perspective of what's going on right now. My perspective, and I think it's equally as important as anybody else's, and so is yours. I think I'd like to reinforce that. Don't ever forget that your opinions, your experience, especially if it is an experience. I mean, that was one of the things I was trying to explain to people this morning. Your experience is truth. It really is. What you read and what you hear from these utterly disgusting human beings called mainstream media, breaking news anchors, newsreaders, they are utterly disgusting human beings now. If I was sat here and somebody came into this room now and said, Mark, look, there's $100,000 here. Will you tell everybody about this? If I looked at what they were showing me and I said, this is bullshit, mate. You want me to read it? Yeah, but you'll get $100,000. I stick this right up your backside on your bike. But the thing is, when you see the MSM, the mainstream media, all the breaking news, all the people who go on to that channel, that rancid cesspit of lies, manipulation, and is the biggest, corruptest propaganda in the whole of humanity. That's what the mainstream media is. It's that disgusting. It goes down to it goes down to the level of where does this all come from. So from the people who speak that garbage, which get paid for it and don't care, like I care a lot. That's why I don't talk BS. I just tell you what I see is happening around me and feel it, and I share that with you. I don't read from a piece of paper and tell you what's going on through a piece of paper, through somebody that I don't know who's writing it, where it's coming from. So I wouldn't do that to you. You know, I just wouldn't do it. And you could offer me 10 million. Well, I'm not bribable, mate. You can't bribe me, if there's such a word, bribable. You can't bribe me. Maybe it's a new word. Maybe it's Mark Bajerski's new dictionary, bribable. Okay, I am not bribable. What I do is I do share my experience from day to day, and I see things around me in my village and what have you. In fact, I said I wasn't going to do anything for a while, but I was kind of sat with a dear friend in the village, and he has been a dear friend, Louis. And Louis is one of those old school guys, and I remember coming to this village lost 16 years ago, really lost, didn't know where, always had a smile, always had time for me, did really, really well because of the shops he owned, and he'd got a good eye for, I'm going to do a video after this, and a raffle with three 3 beautiful crystals, which are my trios. I'm going to raffle them off. And that plate there is one of the hand-painted plates I'm going to talk about from Louith. Now, we're in a situation now where most of the shops are closing down daily here because of the disgusting, despicable lies and manipulation and hoax of what is to be believed as something that's going to kill the whole world. So we have to close it all down. And because of that, people like Louith, who employs many staff, is really struggling. And to the degree that I saw him the other day and thought, you know what, he really is holding himself up. He's a strong guy, but needs a bit of help. And I said, Louith, you know, shops are a good thing when people are doing well, but when they're not, you have to rely more on a website where the whole world can see your beautiful plates, because that's what he sells, hand-painted, beautiful ceramic plates from villages in the mountains of all over. So he's got, I mean, all his life, this has been his work. He's also an avid helper of people. So he's in a club where he travels the world, and he's I don't know, he's retired now, but he was a spokesman, and they've raised millions and millions and millions. So he's a really nice guy, one of the genuine ones. We call him un buena persona. And I said, give us one of your plates and I'll send people to your website just to have a look. And his website is called ceramic, not ceramics, ceramicSpain.com. So it's ceramicfromspain.com. Ceramicfromspain.com. So I'm going to do a video in a bit. Anyway, like, I was sat in the village having a coffee, and I was thinking to myself, everything that I talked about months ago, it's like, it doesn't matter how many times I say it, it's still as potent as the day I shared it the first time. It really is. So about 8 years ago, I'm going to share this because I'm going to keep sharing it, because it needs to sink in for you to understand what's going on and how it all works. So I was on Facebook and somebody posted something and I clicked on it. It was weird. The picture at the front was a group of people in a white building. It almost looked very clinical, and it said Big Brother experiment. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I clicked on it and it took me to YouTube. And I cannot find it. And maybe you could. And if you can, please send it me, because people need to know about this. So the experiment was of a group of people who were tested before they went into a Big Brother house, which was very clinical. Tested for virus, bacteria, for health, blood pressure, everything, and common cold, anything like that. They were all tested through that week before they went into the Big Brother house. When they got the all clear and they were all healthy and fit, they were all let into this Big Brother house. All the beds were all in a row. They were like metal, white, all very clinical. The kitchen was white, what I can remember of it, and they all went in there without any understanding apart from that it's a Big Brother house and all they have to do is talk. And it was like a fly on the wall documentary kind of Big Brother house. They were all, nobody actually, they all believed. I think it was something like they went for interviews and they got through, because of personality and one thing or another. But that wasn't what it was about. So they were all in this house, and then all of a sudden they were told, there's a big surprise. We have another group of people coming to join you. So the big doors opened, and I think 6 people came in, so I think there was 12 altogether. I could be wrong, there might have been more. And all of a sudden, they were all laughing and having a good time. And all of a sudden, the 6 that came in started coughing and spluttering. And one saying, oh, my ear. And one was saying, oh, my throat is killing. And one said, I'm going to have to lie down. The other one said, I don't feel too good. One's coughing, saying, I think I've got flu, cold. So they were all of these 6 had come in, and now all came in really, really poorly. They were in bed, and some were feeling like they had fever and everything. Anyway, after the 6 days were up, it might have been 6 days or 12 days, but within the time that they were in there, the last day came and they were all let out. They were all tested to see who had any flu, cough, cold, anything, any symptoms. The findings were that the 6 that came in, afterwards, keep them aside, but the original 6 people who came in with no cold, no flu, no virus, okay, ended up that nearly all of them had some kind of issue in the body, physical issue, whether it was a cold, whether it was whatever it was, some kind of issue, fever, what was the other one? Like, I can't remember exactly, but a chest infection, something like that. But there was something wrong with just about all of them. Now, they were all taken together into a room and they were all sat down. And then it was put to them that they were involved in an experiment. And that experiment was that the 6 people who came in afterwards were all checked and tested exactly the same way, and they were all found to be 100% fit and healthy. They came in as actors. Those 6 people who came in were acting, and they were told to act as if they all had symptoms of different disease, flu, virus. Okay? When that was told, you should have seen the faces of those people who were ill. Now, I want you to just take a moment and imagine if you were one of those 6 people who fell for the lies, the acting. Just think about that now. If this were you and you're now feeling really bad and you're coughing and they've just told you that actually none of them were poorly. I'm going to give you a moment. Okay, so you see, when you enter into a world of healing, when you enter into a world of seeing, into the world that is beyond the madhouse out there, and you enter into a room and sit in that room with tens of thousands of people coming for 1 hour or 2 hours, telling you about their issues and you helping them through them issues, you start to realize that something is not being told out there. And it is so vitally important that you understand this. It's more powerful than any Einstein theory. It's more powerful than any pharmaceutical breakthrough through illness, through what they give you in tablets. It's probably the most powerful thing, and it would probably equal Aristotle, let food be thy medicine, let medicine be thy food. And it is this. Take a human being who is healthy, both mind, body and spirit. Introduce a partner into their life who is unbalanced, unstable, who is angry, bitter, selfish, jealous, and watch this human being start to put a spell, a voodoo, an energy into this healthy, loving, kind, caring person. Eventually, that energy from this subhuman being is penetrating into this beautiful soul. this soul is feeling that energy, thinking about it, believing it, and creating it. So now you have an energy here that is now filled with depression, sadness, anger, ill health because the immune system's been suppressed by what they've put up with as a punch bag of this person's weaknesses, to the point where this person is ill, can't get up, can't move, doesn't know what to do, is in a state of despair because you've brought this person into their life. And through the day after day after day of the little snide little comments, negative energy, lack of love, lack of giving and sharing and caring, lack of support, all of those things, it's a voodoo spell. A voodoo spell by this person who is weak and can't stand the fact that this person's filled with happiness and joy, and this person's not comfortable in that energy, so this person needs to change that person's energy to be the same, and then probably say, I don't want to be with you anymore because you've changed, but this person is the one who's changed that person. So what I'm saying to you is this: there are good carpenters and there are bad carpenters, and there are carpenters who claim to be carpenters who are just charlatans, who don't really at all have any skill at all. There are good healers and not so good healers, and people who claim to be healers. There are people who claim to be healers of curses, voodoo, black magic. And there are these people who have created such a powerful energy with the understanding of human beings that they know as a voodoo, witch doctor, black magic, healer, psychic, whatever, they know that the power of the human energy, the power of that human energy, if you can manipulate that human energy to believing in what this charlatan says, that human being will take it on board and create it. So it's a bit like if you believe in The Secret, or believe in that what you feel is what you create, what you see, what you do, and you create your own life, your own happiness, your own joy with how you believe it to be. So if that's the case, then surely if you believe your life is bad because the mainstream media is telling you that you're going to die, that if you don't wear a mask you're going to kill other people, that if you don't believe in politics, if you don't, then you don't deserve to live, you don't deserve to have anything. If you're being fed all of this information, this dribble, this toxic lie to bring you into this manipulating system, then what happens then is that you become that energy, you believe it and you create it. Once you've created it, then you've watched the TV and listened to all of that, you create it within your energy, and then you live it, you become it. So you become that energy that the mainstream media wants you to believe. Once you are part of that energy, you live in fear, you live in negativity, you live in sadness, you live in worry, you live in depression, you live with anxiety. Then that lowers your immune system so that you do get illness, and then you create your illness. So just like that very, very clever experiment, what we're seeing right now is that experiment playing out word for word, action for action, globally. So if you imagine that very building which was white with beds is where you are now, where you're sat, where you're sleeping. And the mainstream media are the actors that come in and are acting out a role for you to believe. They are paid actors, given a script. That script is very cleverly scripted so that everything that you feel and do will lower your immune system, create more illness, therefore it enhances that what their lies are trying to suppress the world with. So if I can make you ill, if I can make, which I would never do, if I could make everybody ill, and I tell everybody everybody's going to be ill, everybody's going to believe me. So, yeah. My mind keeps flying off onto different things. It really does. Why are people bribed? Why do people sit in front of a TV screen and say all of these lies? Well, some believe in the lies. Some have bought into the lies. Some know it's complete and utter nonsense, but they've got a mortgage to pay. They've got their children to bring up in education. It's going to cost them a fortune. They've got this mortgage house, another house somewhere else. They've got to keep up with the new handbags. They want a new car. So these things are vital to them. They want the hair doing every week to look good, because if they don't look good, then the news companies are going to get rid of them because they look too old. So personally, people sell their soul for many reasons. And very few people like you and me would say, get stuffed. Get out of here. On your bike. Away. But most people would think, oh, what the hell? You know what? Nobody cares anyway. It's only me, and I'll just, I'll make some money. I'll be happy for the rest of my life. And what the hell? The selfishness of mankind is beyond anybody's true understanding right now. But it is true. There is a lot of selfishness in this world. And yet, the finger points in the wrong direction. Apparently, people who don't wear a mask are selfish. We are killers. We are murderers. When in fact, it's, and I've said to you many times, everything's back to front, the wrong way around, inside out. So what you believe is the truth is a lie. So, especially when you're watching mainstream media, when you're listening to your politicians, it's all a lie, every bit of it. That's why the world is such a mess. Why is it a mess? Because everybody believes in the lie. And the lie is, if you want to know what a lie is, just switch on your TV. That is a lie, because that is a sales pitch for a dark hand that is controlling the world, that controls the media, that controls the puppets, that are all of those people who are pushing for a certain agenda. You know what, guys? You don't need to push for anything if you're filled with love and happiness. You don't need to tell people and force people and scare people if truth is truth. You only do that when you know you're manipulating and you're creating a lie. That's the only time you do that. You know that. If truth is truth, you don't need to scare people with it. You just speak your truth. You don't have to scare people. You don't have to keep telling them 50, 100 times. Why do you tell people 100 times? Because it's a lie. And only a lie can ever be understood and accepted if you say it enough. But you know what? If you hey, John rode his bike yesterday and fell off it. Them new bikes, what have just come out, they're a bit dodgy. The brakes are a bit dodgy. Oh, thanks for that. Hey, John, you know that bike? Them bikes, they're a bit dodgy. The brakes, yeah, you've already told me that, mate. Oh, yeah, I know, but I just want you to know. You know that bike? Hang on a minute. You just told me 3 times. Yeah, but I just want you to make sure you know that them bikes are no good. Hang on a minute. Why'd you keep telling me about that bike? Be honest. Okay, well, I've got a bike company, and the bike company is maybe stealing all my business, and I need to, shut them down. So I'm going to start lying, and that's why I'm going to keep telling you this so you believe it, and I keep reminding you so you don't go. Keep reminding you so you don't go. And that's what's happening right now, guys. You're being reminded not to listen to your immune system. You need to be reminded that there's no such thing as an immune system. You need to be reminded all the time that there's no such thing as natural health. You need to be reminded that not to eat natural fruit and veg. You need to be reminded that you need to go and get your pharmaceutical drugs. You need to be reminded about your mask masks. You need to be reminded about the virus. You need to be around, and everything is said to you over and over and over and over and over again. Why? Because it isn't the truth. Because if it was the truth, you'd only need to hear it once and that will be it. But they have to, because they know the human psyche. If you keep telling a lie often enough, people will believe it and never change their thought process ever again thereafter. You are living an absolute experiment, guys, and until you get that, you will never change your life, and you will never become healthy, and you will never become free from illness, depression, sadness, and all of the illnesses that you create because of this mainstream media lie 100%. And that's my message today. Step away from it. Be stronger than it. Be amazing. Don't buy into it. Don't listen to it. Listen to you and your environment. Stay away from people who all they ever do is talk brainwashed. Brainwashed is that what's being told to them by a mainstream media, black screen, day in, day out. Sorry, I don't talk brainwashed. Keep away from those people. Create new people in your life who know and who are more wiser than that, and that they are the ones who know that this is all a lie. And create your own friends, or become your best friend and start working on yourself. It isn't loneliness. It's your moment to find the greatness within you, to feel that inspiration and that truth, to connect with the spirit world, which I believe are there to help us. Then they will give you information that you can make a difference in the world and say, hey guys, I've got a great idea, try this. Hey guys, I think this is not right. I feel this is not right. I feel we should do this and do that. Thus you become a light worker in the world. Yes, you'll be attacked, because brainwashed always attacks. That's what they do. And when you're brainwashed with a lie, that is an energy that will always try to defend itself. You don't defend yourself. You don't need to, because you know you don't live a lie. But everybody else who's living a lie is trying to defend themselves. Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because they're filled with pride and ego, and they don't want anybody to know that they've been duped and had by an absolute evil that runs up to the core. That is a handful of families that are all cultists who do the most terrible things in this world, and that is why whatever is happening in this world is done by them. They've created it, and those that wear masks are actually supporting the satanic ritual abusers. And until they get it, there's nothing we can do apart from shine our light and truth. So from my heart to yours, have a great day. I really mean that. No one has the power over you. And remember, a heart that gives is always full. Take care, shine bright, and be the most amazing soul that you are. I really mean that. You are amazing. If you're watching this, you are powerful, and you can change the world. And guess what? That's why you're here, to change the world. So thank you.